MARKET.live live stream. So happy to be here today with all of you, beautiful people. Today we're going to do something extremely special. We are going to be frying some ribs, thanks to one of my favorites, this man right here, Roy Choi. Made these a little while ago, and let me tell you, you are in for a treat. We are going to be frying up these baby back ribs, Korean style. So there's things like hoisin sauce, garlic black bean sauce. We got chili garlic sauce, orange juice. It's going to be a good time. So I'm excited to show you all this recipe. First, I think we'll start off with, I create a little bit of B-roll of all the preparation that happened last night before today. And so what we'll do is I'll kind of run you through that preparation. I'll show you, everything that went into it before we got to this moment today. And then we will go ahead and get started. We'll fry up the ribs. I'll show you how crispy and delicious they are. And that should be it. So please comment in the chat, right? Heckle me all you want. I do much better that way. I'll try and, answer any questions. May not know the answers, but do my best. So please send your messages in the chat. Appreciate it. So first, we're going to create a brine. So see here, I'm going to add 20 cups of water to get that started. And then we're going to be adding things like ginger and cilantro. There's garlic that's going into it. We've got rice vinegar that's going into it, peppercorns. That last jar there is salt and sugar. And then there's also onions. Forgot to get into that, but a little movie magic. We'll show it later. But here, if you didn't know, easiest way to peel ginger, just using the end of a spoon. So just gently scrape off the skin of the ginger, and then there you go. Nice and smooth, ready to go. You can chop that up. For this specifically, we're going to be using the stems of the cilantro. So we're actually not using the leaves at all, just about half a cup of cilantro stems. And then also there's the garlic. So a half a cup of peeled garlic. And luckily we don't have to sit here and watch, 4 minutes go by as I peel every single one of these. But once you've peeled all your garlic, we'll move on here. But see, look at how fast. If only we could do that in real life, right? Fast forward. I would really enjoy that. But I think they made a movie about that, right? Click, something like that. Didn't end too well for Adam Sandler, did it? So once you've got all the garlic, then we chop up the ginger, and we're going to just start throwing all this stuff into the pot to get it going. So ginger, garlic, we'll throw in the cilantro, we'll throw in the onion, we're going to throw in salt and the sugar, peppercorns. And then once you get all of that into the pot, oh yes, the rice vinegar, almost forgot. Once you get all that into the pot, see, there's your onions. You didn't ever see me cut those, but they're there. Once you get that into the pot, we're going to turn up the heat and bring it to a rolling boil. While that's happening, we're going to cut our ribs, right? So I personally, you'll see in this, I use these scissors to cut. Phone died, so they just split in half, when I came back to it. But I really love these scissors to cut things like this, like the ribs. Once you got them cut, put them into the pot. Also, good tool to push the ribs down because the water's hot and boiling. After an hour, okay, 1 hour later, you're gonna go ahead and take those out. Remember, once you put the ribs in, you turn it to a simmer, right? So the water's boiling, put the ribs in, turn that to a simmer, let it sit for an hour. And then once after that hour, you take them out, let them air cool to room temperature. And then you guys get a little look into my fridge. Put them in the fridge, right? And you let those sit in the fridge uncovered overnight. So now that we're here, thank you. We're gonna go over to our fridge. We're gonna take the ribs out. So give me 1 second, I'll bring them out. All right. So as you can see, here, I'll show you guys real quick. Let's see. Let's try not to, I'm not trying not to throw these on the floor here. But I've got my ribs here, and because they've been sitting out overnight, there's kind of like a film on top of the ribs. And so what that does is it's going to make sure that the skin, when we fry it, it is going to be phenomenal. The fat's just going to really crisp up. Let me check. Temperature is a little hot, but we should be good. So what we'll do is we are going to cut these ribs into individual sizes. So you can either use a knife, or you can use, like I mentioned, handy dandy kitchen shears. I personally like the shears. We'll see how well they go when I do it live, because you know how things go when you try and show somebody something. But you just want to go ahead and cut each individual rib, right? Just like that. Just cut it out. And then we'll just throw them back on the rack, and then we're going to take them over behind me, and we will start to fry these ribs. Let me tell you, I've already had these once before, so I know what's coming. You don't know quite yet, but you're about to. And let me tell you, so like I was saying, there's a film around the ribs, but the meat on the inside is so incredibly soft because you only let it simmer for an hour, right? You're cooking it, but you're not overcooking it, so that when you fry it, it crisps them up, and then you're good to go. So let me see, while I'm doing this, see what people have to say. Couch surfer, I appreciate that. I really do, because you're the man. We got Roy Choi, my boy Landon, appreciate it. I personally, let me tell you a little story while we're cutting these, all right? So I would cook before, really just out of necessity, right? Just like a lot of us do. And then COVID happened. And then started working from home more. And there were days I would get off of work. You know, I'd work like 7 to 3, 7 to 4. And so I had time to cook a lot more. And so I started to realize that I really enjoyed cooking, especially when people would try it, right? And I could see their reaction after something that I made. And that for me was like the moment that did it for me. And then I came across the chef show with Roy Choi, and watching those videos, you know, I just was inspired. And so I continued to cook. I don't cook as much as I'd like to. You know, I'd like to, I mean, how nice would it be to just be cooking delicious food every day, all day for a living? But when I get the chance to cook, like I love having people over. I love doing parties and just spending the whole time in the kitchen and to get people's reactions. So let me just show you some of these. I mean, this is good stuff. See that? If you could feel how, like this is just, it's got that film, but you can see, I mean, it's still tender. It's gonna be real juicy. So now what we'll do, we've got our ribs cut up, and let me just double check, okay? Let me double check over here. I'm actually gonna put these back on here because I'm gonna use this rack to take, when I take the ribs out and then they're drying. So do a little double check, okay? I don't wanna be steering you astray here. All right, throw them in. Yeah, we just have the sauce and the ribs to fry them. That's it. So while some of these are frying, I'm gonna work on the sauce. So I got this big bowl here. Let's start working on that. And we will go from there. Let's see, what do we got? Does the simmering remove most of the fat? Gearhead, not necessarily. Not that I've noticed. You know, I wish Roy was here to tell you, but not necessarily. I don't necessarily know the answer to that question. Yeah, I probably would be fat too, but luckily genes have been very, very nice to me. I I struggle, you know, trying to gain weight, which some people would probably see that as a blessing. But, you know, grass is always greener, right on the other side. So let me take some of these, and I use tongs. I mean, I think everybody's got tongs, but these ones in particular, these have like the silicone on them. They're heat resistant. Personally, I love these. They have good grip. I've had metal ones before where you use them and I got to sit there and scrub and scrub and scrub all the barbecue sauce or whatever sauce is on there after the fact. Whereas these, I can run these under the water and it just falls off. So these are some of my favorites. All right, beware. Luckily, see, we're warm over here. A little hot. We're a little hot. But we're gonna drop these in. Luckily, this is an electric stove, so we don't have to worry about lighting my kitchen on fire here. But, oh yeah, I know you are. I know you hear that. I know you hear that. So we're gonna let these just get nice and golden brown. Move these around a little bit so they don't stick on. It's a little toasty. It's a little toasty in there. Let's see. Tapatio. I can't put Tapatio on. Look, some people have called me Tapatio Poppy. Okay. I'm not putting Tapatio on this. Okay. That would be a terrible thing to do because I am very much, there are specific flavors. You know, you keep them together. You marry those flavors together. You don't ruin that. I do enjoy Tapatio, right? Salsa, hot sauce, whatever you want to call it. I will eat it probably every day. Put it on my eggs every single time without fail. But in this situation, we're not going to ruin Roy Choi's recipe with some Tapatio sauce, okay? Sorry. Can't always give the people what they want, so I apologize. Okay, so while that is happening, I'm actually going to move these over here really quick. I know so many of you are waiting for me to just like fumble, drop the ribs, throw them all over the kitchen. But I've practiced. It's not going to happen. So I'm just going to check on these real quick. I just want to see, because the oil is really hot right now. So I just want to make sure. Oil, you could use vegetable oil. I've thought about doing like peanut oil. Like I've fried turkeys with peanut oil, but this is just, you know, vegetable oil. You could do like canola oil, but I'm just using vegetable today. That's a good question. See, we got other tong lovers here. You know what I'm saying? You beautiful people. Look what's gonna. Okay, so I'm gonna take these ones out. Good, man. I wish, you know, one day we're gonna have the option where I could send you smells, and you just come right here, right into the kitchen, just smell some of this delicious. I mean, you hear that? You hear it sizzling? Absolutely incredible. So, all right, got these. We'll throw some more in, and then I will put on. Oh, they're there. I will start working on that sauce. So throw some more in. Oh, that's right. We got. Not only are we frying ribs, we're sizzling ribs, but there's some sizzling tunes. I know you hear those in the back. Things are sizzling. And it's cold right now where I'm at, so this is great. All right, one more, throw one more in here. And then once this cools off a little bit, these ribs over here, I'm gonna come over there, I'll show you what you're working with, what we are working with right now. All right, so next thing is the sauce. So let's get to work here. Got my bowl for mixing, all right? Whisk. You got me worried. I'm gonna burn these on live stream right now, and everybody's gonna be chuckling. The sauce is boss. Look, it's gonna get real saucy right now. You can't. I really see. This is the problem. Like I was telling you before, I like cooking because I like to share it and have people take a bite and see their reaction. How am I supposed to do that right now? I need people to start cooking with me. Need people to start cooking with me. We can go live together, right? We cook the same thing, and then we can see, I'm gonna burn these. We can try them together. I can see a reaction. Actually, that'd be kind of cool. Bring people in that have never tried it. They can make it with me. You know, get it all prepped, and then they can try it for the first time on a live stream. That's a thought. See, I just came up with an idea. See how easy it is. Come up with an idea like that. Let me put this over here. All right, so the sauce. I'm gonna stop there and we'll get to the sauce. So for the sauce, you might want to half the recipe on this. Generally, I usually do for sauces, but for the sake of the live stream, we're just going to do the whole what it asked for. So we got half a cup of hoisin sauce. All right. Let's see here. Half a cup of hoisin sauce. Get all that out there. We've got 1/4 of a cup oyster sauce. Remind me about those ribs. I don't want to burn them ribs. Make sure y'all remind me. Wait for it. Ah, jeez. See, if you could just, telling you, right now, you can see how crispy and delicious these ribs are. Something else. Okay. So we got these last 3 we'll throw in. I'll show you some of these that are cool. We'll do the scrape test. So everybody knows what that is. Take a knife, scrape it, so you can hear the crispy layers. All right, 3 more. Okay, let's see. Let's find one of these that are, hold up. Uh-huh. Oh, shh. Are you ready? Here we go. You ready for this? I mean, oh, here we go. I forget, we gotta do mic here. You hear that? That's crispy. Wait, right there. That is, telling you people, this is why I get excited. And nobody believes me that I like food because I just don't look it. But I do, I love food. Okay, back to the sauce. We got the 1/2 cup hoisin, 1/4 of a cup oyster sauce. We've got 1/2 cup garlic chili sauce, okay? Garlic chili sauce going in. We've got 1/2 cup black bean sauce, garlic black bean sauce. There might be some of this stuff you've never even had before. That's okay. Let me check on these. Don't want to burn them. Yeah, they got a little more time. Okay, so we got the black bean sauce. We have 1 cup of OJ. All right, throw that in there. 2 tablespoons of lime juice. We're gonna add a tablespoon of brown sugar. Wait, let me double check that. Tablespoon brown sugar. Yep, there we go. Tablespoon brown sugar. And then we have, okay, some of you might have seen this on Instagram, Chinese mustard powder. Couldn't find any Chinese mustard powder. So we're just gonna use ground mustard. That's it. Kung Fu Kenny. Let me tell you, not only does the crust look amazing, but it tastes amazing too. Okay? I mean, it just is so crispy with the sauce and the crunch and absolutely delicious. Let's see here, just checking on these. I don't want to, we still got a little bit. Still go a little bit. If I turn this up a little bit, we lost quite a bit of heat. So what are some of your favorite meals? Like your go-to This is what I'm cooking. I will eat this any day of the week. Tell me in the chat. We'll see what you guys got. Okay, so we have the lime juice, orange juice we added. We got the brown sugar. We added the mustard powder, not the Chinese mustard powder. Forgive me, Roy. I couldn't find any. And then 2 tablespoons of sriracha. All right. 1 and 2. And this also calls for like 3/4 cups of water. I personally thought it was a little bit runny for me. So I am just gonna leave it with the orange juice and the lime juice. I think that gives it plenty. I don't feel like it needs